Imagine I'm waking up, having my coffee, enjoying a little bit of the 20 or 30 raid video. Okay, the 2 videos of raid I watch in the morning, usually accidentally after watching one of my other videos, and it spills over into a raid video. And there's my good friend JGig saying, Madcap probably has a video on this champion, and I don't actually have a video on this champion, so, well, now I do. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcap, and there's another video on Raid Shadow Legends and another in our series of I Built Them So You Don't Have To. That's right, I didn't have Lordly Legionary, so challenge accepted. Here it is, long overdue. I just avoided him like the plague because I was so underwhelmed with him originally, but that is just anecdotal. What will the actual testing say? We're going to find out right now, so without further ado, here he is, Lordly Legionary. All right, so I thought we'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. I haven't fully completed the changeover to the new video, or sorry, the new memory. So SSD drive. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But we put a group of different champions all ready to hit the Fire Knight early. This isn't the team I'm going to use for it, but this is going to be for the damage testing. But we're also going to talk about Lordly Legionary skills while doing this. So if we start the first one, his first one's actually kind of more of a support type deal. So it's not really going to be damage, obviously, wise. But let's take a look at Lockwayne's A3. Lockwayne gives you attacks one enemy 2 times, ignores shield buffs, resets the cooldown of the skill if it kills an enemy, which is always nice. See what kind of damage he can do there. Both 60,000. Now we've got Ruella, one of my favorite champions. She fills the turn meters of all eyes with 20% and places an increased crit rate. I am not making use of the increased crit rate because it wouldn't be fair unless I built everyone to make use of the crit rate. His, of course, this A3 is the Legion's Orders. It places a 30% reflect damage buff and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. We're going to try to use this reflect damage in the Fire Knight to help with the shield if and when we can. But just to show it, obviously, it's just a defensive stat. Then finally, we already saw him once before. He swaps HP with an enemy, grants an extra turn. It's not going to do anything. So we'll just use his A1 here just to zip through. Now, we're going to do this. I know that feels like a waste, but this is the only way we're really going to be able to work through this. So it is what it is. Let's debuff and let's talk about that A2 and that A1. So the A2 for Lockwayne is an AoE, and I'm allergic to BS. So that's all damage. Now we have a single attacks 1 enemy 3 times, has a 50% chance of placing a decreased defense, a weaken, and a decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. And we see there, it's going to do some pretty good damage. His A2, which is the one we want to worry about, outflank, attacks 1 enemy, has a 75 book to 100% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, decreases the target's turn by 20% if the debuff is placed. So we're going to go, see, I'd love to hit him again, but he's already got that on there, so I think it won't allow it. But there you go. So you saw the decrease in the turn meter. And then finally we can hit with our guy Wergren, and you see the damage there. Now let's back out and see what kind of damages we did here. Now you see Wergren obviously hit more than either or Ruella, Lordly Legionary. Lordly Legionary and Ruella are very similar. We'll look at their kits in a second to show how similar. Lockwayne was an AoE, but obviously Wergren is hitting a little bit harder. By a little bit, I mean double. So let's replay this one more time and look at the A1s. Keep in mind, this is not this is a champion you get for 43,000. I'm kind of floored that this is what they've decided to offer for the free champion. He only gets 2 there because there's no actual heal reduction on it. Don't worry, we're going to make sure to put that as part of the fun in the actual one. Let's take a look at what the A1s do. So from the perspective of just pure damage, you can see that he is just not hitting anywhere near. Heck, Venus hits harder than him. Let's take a look at the champions we used here by backing out accidentally into everything. Let's take a look here. Fire Knight's Castle, we were at 25, right? So when we take a look at Lockwayne, he is sitting at 48.39 at 281 crit damage. Ignore that 99%. And 275 accuracy. He is in a... It's either Savage or... Actually, I think he's in the other... I think he's in Lethal. When we look at our good friend Werrigan Suncursed, he is sitting at a whopping 7280, so that's part of the reason why he's hitting so much harder. 259, and we didn't have him in any accuracy. We're going full damage on him. And then Ruella, we have sitting at 4792, 227, a lot closer to his build, 227 accuracy. So that is kind of his damage, kind of underwhelming. But let's take a look at it in action. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that's not making it work. Now, I will tell you right now, there are a few things I already don't like about his kit, but we'll talk about those after. So why don't we look at his kit, and then we'll come back to the Fire Knight, do a Fire Knight 20 run, Fire Knight 25 run, and see if we can't put something together with this champion. So here's my Lordly Legionary. He is in lethal gear. As you can see, here is his total stats. He's got 269 crit damage, 4455 attack at 204 speed with some survivability, and of course 263 accuracy. And in his Masteries, you can see here, the big thing is because of his multi-hit, we're putting him in Giant Slayer. We're getting that retribution. And the big thing is I really like Ruthless Ambush, and I usually like Heart of Glory. So that's how we have him built out. Again, his skill set, how we want to use this is we want to make sure reflect damage is up whenever the Fire Knight hits us. On the flip side, when it is open, we want to make sure to land the decreased speed. Now, we're going to have multiple champions that have the decreased speed, but depending on the champions you have, you may not be able to guarantee that. And of course, we want to be able to bring in a heal reduction. And that's my first big black mark on this champion. He has this extra ability if there's a heal reduction, but he doesn't have heal reduction. So I wanted to not use Coldheart as part of this team, but the reality is Coldheart and him are pretty much hand in hand. They're Ebony and Ivory. They're you know, Starsky and Hutch. They're Sonny and Cher. They're Jay Giggs and the guy who dissed him, which by the way made me so warm, made my heart so warm to watch DJRNG diss track. I just want to throw that in there. If you haven't seen it, you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Jay Giggs' website, or his YouTube channel, and his reaction to a DJ RNG diss track, which just warms the cockles. Anyway, okay, so let's take him in. What we're going to do, I'm going to build a team that hopefully makes use of all of this and can help you. And we'll see what this champion can do in the Fire Knight 20 and 25. We'll talk about why this is not the best champion, or why this is the best champion after that. All right, so here's the team we put together. This is actually, sorry, we don't want to do stage 25 first. We want to do stage 20. This is the first place people get to. Immediately, you're going to see the problem. He is Magic Affinity. So, I mean, and at the time, keep in mind, there was no level 25. They put him out intentionally knowing that level 20, the level that he would be most apt to be used in, is in the Force Affinity Fire Knight dungeon. But not only that, they didn't give him his own. You know what? Let's just play it. Let's just play it. We'll go through here. We'll see if we can get something going. He just hits so weak. He hits so weak. Now we got to hope for a little bit of a cycle here. I did put down his reflect early because we don't need it right away. Anyhow, we're going to hope here for some good old-fashioned strong defense on this. Oof, ouch. Hopefully Magnar can cycle around to his AoE. Boom, there we go, and good. Now here, we're going to use everyone. So this is where this is his third failing. He needs the decrease on here. Now, because we're level 20, we're good, but he's only going to get the 2 because he needs to have someone else place that heal reduction. Now, eventually, there will be a heal reduction here, absolutely, But look how long it's taking Coldheart to get there, right? Boom, now she's got the heal reduction, but now he's got to put up the reflect eventually. Now it doesn't look like on level 20, because of the team I have, we're going to hit it. So here he actually did get 4 hits in, which is nice. The third problem is that if the speed debuff is already placed, and I have some champions that put the speed debuff on, I could have chosen not to put any in. If that happens, and say they're already at 2 turns, he's trying to place a 2-turn, well, it won't overwrite. So he will not actually get that turn meter decrease, which is integral in the Fire Knight's castle. But here, we can get away with it because we have a team that can take the damage down. Did he do anything? He did a little bit of damage, absolutely. But is it enough? Probably not. Now, the next place we're going to talk about is Fire Knight 24. This is where a lot more happens because it is the most efficient way to spend your energy. It's actually more efficient than 25. This is pre-hard level dungeons, okay? We're not looking at hard level dungeons at all for this example, but let's just see what happens here. I do happen to have a couple of mainstays that are Spirit Affinity, so that's hopefully going to help me. But again, we are dealing with weak affinity here, and he is having to deal with taking damage. And you can see here, this is like, we need to bring in someone else here to help survivability. He's going to be dead right away. He's only got 15k HP, so he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. He's the wrong affinity for 20. He doesn't place his own heal reduction for that extra kind of ability that he has, and he's got very low base HP despite being a attack-based champion who is supposed to be good in this, and he can't survive. So, okay, I knew that was probably going to happen. Will he be better in 25? Now, 25 is Spirit Affinity, which means he's actually got a strong affinity opportunity here, and this could help him out. Again, not a whole lot of damage. He is a passenger in the waves. You can see he's really doing nothing for the team. They're all doing the work, and they're going to take a lot of hits, and what's going to happen is they're going to die. Now, we'll bring in one other team to hopefully get this to work, but I hope you're seeing a trend here with our good friend Lordly Legionary. He is a total passenger, and you need to be able to get them to the boss with him basically doing zero help for you at all. You see what happened here? People die. So let's edit the team, and instead we can take out our we can take out Ruella, I think. Unfortunately, I really like her with that AAA one. I would honestly, TLDR, I would take out Lordly Legionary and keep her in, but of course this is his video, so we got to figure out some way of featuring. And I mean, I guess I can bring in Miscreated Monster if he's got some juice. Yeah, he might be able to do it. I feel like he's missing gear, but let's open and lock, and then hopefully we're getting back around to it. Lock and open, and then round 3. I mean, we'll try the It's Alive. That's probably just going to kill him. I should probably also see if he's actually got any gear on him. Oh, look, he does have gear. Oh, he's got a blessing. He's got a blessing. He's got a 4-star blessing. He's got a 4-star blessing. Look at you. Look at you. This gives me extra hits, right? Let's choose that. All right, let's see if this will work for us. Keep in mind that the whole purpose is to not get hit. Keep that in mind. I think that is integral to survival. You don't want the Fire Knight boss to ever go. But if you have to, maybe that reflect damage will help us. I'm scared about the survivability of this team, even with the shields, because he is so weak. He's so under leveled. Now here he's fought through, and now our Miscreated Monster gets to take a lot of heat. Hopefully we get some kills here before. There we go. Good. Okay. See, just still not enough. I mean, I should bring in, like, who do we have to bring in to survive? I guess I could make him with more HP, so that he does more. Let's amp it up. Let's see what we can do. I don't even know what I'm using him for, to be honest with you. He doesn't need that much accuracy in this. Let's give him priority HP. No, let's just primary stat HP. Actually, no, that's priority HP. Let's see what the best is. There, triple HP. Barely loses any speed. 86. Is that enough? Do we have more HP? Oh, that's not a good enough ring. Let's priority HP this. Oh, I can't take. Oh, I can't take away from. Oh, I can't. Oh, okay, good. It's only an extra 919. That's kind of sad, really. Let's see what this does. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we'll see. See that, and my biggest problem, this is probably my biggest problem with him, is he isn't bringing enough to the table. He's not bringing enough right here. So I have one idea left that we're going to try, and we'll see if it gets through this at all. But if it doesn't, we're going to try one more thing that might be the secret. Keeping in mind that when you get this guy, you probably won't even be able to build the team that we're going to suggest. But we have to try something because we want this to be done. Maybe I need to replace Magnar. Maybe that's the real miss, is that we're using Magnar here. And he just doesn't, in my current build, because I don't really use him anymore, he just doesn't have that damage. But it does look like we're going to get through this first round. So that's good. I spoke too soon? Oh, no, that's fine. We're good. Oh, good. Glad you used the AoE there, too. That's good thinking, Magnar, on a single target. That's AI at its finest, frankly. All right, so let's, we're going to get a bunch of opportunities for free hits here. And then we're going to actually have to start doing something. Hopefully Magnar cycles. There we go. And we've got the protection racket. We've got the decrease attack, which will help against like Nethril. I mean, this isn't fast, but honestly, you ask anyone who's doing Fire Knight, anyone who's doing progression, they don't care about speed, especially free to play. Speed is not what you're looking for. Oh, I got lucky. I got so lucky on that fear proc. Cold Heart was about to take a dirt nap. God bless. Oh, good. Yeah, use that ally protect here. That might actually save her. I don't know if we're going to kill him in time. We should be able to kill him here. So let's see what happens here. She's going to pull down. We got two because of course there's no block heals. So we're just going to have to hope. Now he's got the reflect damage up, which we're probably going to need because we're not going to get back to Cold Heart. But they can't survive it. So great. So we did get the reduced damage. So there he gets to get the 4 hits to open it up. But Cold Heart's dead. My God, the humanity. And he did actually get to reduce turn meter there, which is nice. He's getting a 4-hitter. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Without Cold Heart, it's kind of bunk. I wonder if my other Cold Heart... Yeah, see, it's... So, I mean, what is he really going to do? We'll talk about it in final thoughts here. I'm going to save us the pain of watching this guy. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to be like, you're wrong. This guy's amazing. This is what I did with him. Well, you're wrong. All right, let's go to final thoughts. My final thoughts on Lordly Legionary. Wow, what an absolute miss of a champion. What are his problems? Why is it that they couldn't figure out their own game and their own mechanic? Now, first off, keep in mind this guy was originally brought in as a login champion when they were only up to level 20 in the dungeons. Why is that important? Because the level 20 of Fire Knight, where this guy should excel, is indeed Force Affinity. So he already starts off on the weak foot, right? On the wrong foot. He's now weak affinity against his number 1 place of use with all single target. This guy does not hit hard. We have him in lethal gear. We have him at 4,500 with 270 attack. Now that's not end game level, but we're talking about a champion you get at what, 90 days or 120 days? Like that's not that far into the game that we're going to have a crazy gear. So he needs to be able to get the job done at level 20 at the kind of gear you'll have as a low spend free to play. If you are a spender, you don't even care about login champions. So we have to consider that. Now, what else is wrong with him? Well, he has this 2 attack that turns into a 4 attack, but he needs a heal reduction. But guess what his kit is missing? It's missing a heal reduction. Number 3, he has reflect damage. Reflect damage is the most unuseful ability in the game, bar none. You can argue it all you want. This thing, reflect damage, just only works on you. It doesn't work for you. Now, when Hydra steals reflect damage, oh, it works like a charm. When you're fighting Ice Golem and it's the level 20, the beasts that put it up, yeah, it works amazing. But when you have it on you and you're built properly, guess what? It doesn't do diddly. Now, theoretically, in a pinch, yes, reflect damage will help you bring down the shields if you can take the hit from the Fire Knight. However, you should be able to put together a Fire Knight 20 team that can keep the shields open, maybe, with a Cold Heart especially, which of course we have to bring in someone to help use this A1 for the extra 2 hits. So he's already not getting the extra 2 hits when he first comes into the boss, but hopefully you'll be able to open it, get a heal reduction from Cold Heart, or maybe you're using Venom Mage, or maybe you're using any other champion that has a heal reduction on them, and then you get to use it for 4 hits on the second round. And then maybe you get the reflect damage, but the guy only has 15,000 max HP, which means not only is he not hitting hard, but now you have to sacrifice even more of that damage for survivability. Why? Why is this guy so bad at everything in this game? Now, he does have a 3-turn cooldown on a single target decreased speed, and it does reduce turn meter. This, I will say, is actually a useful ability against the Fire Knight, if you land it. Now, the problem with this is there are a lot of champions now that have decreased speed. A lot of champions that you'll probably be using, especially getting through those first 20 stages. And if a decreased speed is already on the champion and he tries to place an equal value decreased speed, in other words, 2 turns, and he tries to place his at 2 turns, it will not be placed, therefore he will not get the turn meter reduction. And we're weak affinity, which means, of course, he's got a 30% chance of weak hitting and therefore not even placing the decrease speed debuff. But is that all that's wrong with him? Well, I think the number one thing that's wrong with him is he hits like a wet noodle. This guy can't hit, which is fine, but don't make him an attack-based champion. Here's how you fix him, Plarium, and you've never listened to anything I've ever had to say about epics, so why should I start now? To make myself feel better, I guess. How do you fix him? Make him a defense-based champion and make him force affinity. That way you don't break him for, actually, is it force affinity? I take that back. Make him spirit affinity. That way you don't break him for 20, you don't break him for 24, you don't break him for 25. If he's defense-based, he's then survivable. You're building his damage into his survivability. The second thing you need to do is this here that puts the decreased speed also needs to put a decrease heal or a heal reduction. He should have his own heal reduction, or better yet, give him a passive that anytime he's hit with a reflect shield up, it places a 2-turn decreased speed cannot be resisted, or something cool like that. Maybe you can place it through the Fire Knight shield. Wouldn't that be amazing? You come in with a slow team because you're a new account. You don't have the speeds. You built your team survivable. You're able to get the reflect damage up, and then your team is taking damage. But boom, lo and behold, he puts a heal reduction on the boss through the shield, and then his A1 is activated at a 4-hitter like it should be. And of course, now that you've changed him to Spirit Affinity, he's actually useful in Fire Knight 20, Fire Knight 24, and now you actually have a viable champion. How hard was that? Now, there are 1,000 ways you could fix them. That's only one. What do you think they should do to fix Lordly Legionary? Or is it just, hey, let's just use them for food and move on? Let me know in the comments down below. But there you go, Jay Giggs. You got the champion. Please don't build him. He's not going to be useful for you. I'm sure you've got way better options out there. I think you have Ruella on your free-to-play account. So use her. She's just objectively better in every single possible way over this very underwhelming champion. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the return of the I Built Them series. But, of course, as always, please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.